Well, hello, my friends. I am excited and happy to be here with Candace Gregory. She is the president and CEO of the Open Door Mission. Candace, it's so good to see you. It's been a while.
Yes, it has been. And here we are in the throes of summer heat.
I
Oh,
know, I know. I think our last conversation was probably around the holidays, and as we talk about with I think all nonprofits, but Open Door Mission, I mean, the need is 365, 24/7. So what's happening? Yeah, what happens this time of year, and what are your needs?
yeah. Andy, it's true. A lot of times seasons change, but hunger remains. And in the summertime, there's a couple things that happen. One is the social issue of domestic violence. Women can leave their abuser, and they can do that safely because school is out. And don't have to worry about their children being tracked in school. So they can really escape
Okay.
safely during the summer months. So our need at the Lydia House skyrockets during the summer months as women escape domestic violence. The other thing is low-income families that oftentimes may participate in one of our homeless prevention programs. Those families that are working, but just struggling to earn a livable wage. Now, in the same income, they have for every child 10 more meals because they qualified for the breakfast program and the lunch program at school.
Okay.
And so see a huge increase in our Manna food pantry. Along with that, giving in comparison to this time last year is down by about 39%, and our
Wow.
costs are up by about 17%. That should be no surprise because it doesn't matter how large or small your family is, you're feeling the effects of the costs. And at the same time, the food insecurity issues are truly, really present in our community.
Yeah. Wow. A lot. I mean, a lot. My gosh, a lot going on. And again, don't often have a conversation with you this time of year. So it's interesting to hear. I know, a lot of times the holidays were focused on just the holiday giving and what you're doing there. So that it's interesting to see just how kind of the seasons, um, you know, what your needs are. They're always different.
They dictate what our driving force is and trying to be proactive. In fact, we were planning for our Camp Plus Care program way back in January, right after I was talking to you. We were putting
Yeah.
together a plan for children experiencing homelessness to have a safe therapeutic environment for the 12 weeks they're out of school. And wouldn't you know, just 3 weeks before the last day of school, Andy, our partner said, Candace, we have not been able to hire enough staff to facilitate all of your children at one location. We were,
Okay.
what? Because what do you're like,
Yeah.
and 128 school age children, because we have
Right.
parents that are in school themselves, they're in GED, they're furthering their education at trades, they're working, they're looking for housing. There's diverse reasons why people are at the Open Door Mission Lydia House. And so we very quickly had to put a plan of action. And, this is a positive thing that came out of COVID, Andy, because we've been there
Yeah.
before. And so we
Yeah.
were to pull all of our staff from our administration and development to donate one day a week to camp to cover that shortage. And so it's kind of fun. We get to be involved in animal therapy and art therapy
Yeah.
and crafts and the activities. And no one does your work. It's on your desk when you get back, but you still have a lot of fun, and work made fun gets done.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about how the community can help. Specifically right now during the summer and
Absolutely.
into fall.
I know for many families, by about the second week of summer vacation, kids are saying, "I'm bored. I'm bored. There's nothing to do." And so we really encourage families, because we are family friendly, to
Yeah.
visit our website at opendoormission.org and look at all the volunteer opportunities that you and your family could do together to make an impact. But at the same time, it's very educational for our children to learn at a young age the importance of making good decisions, Andy, staying in school, saying no to drugs, but at the same time, knowing that our 2 hours of time makes a difference in hundreds
Yeah.
of other people's lives is huge to learn at a young age, because I truly believe it becomes part of your lifestyle.
Yeah, no, I absolutely believe that too. And that is great to go to the website and check it out and see what's going on. So we talked a little bit so about the volunteers. People can come down and volunteer. Um, the kids camp. What are other things that people would sign up to volunteer for?
Absolutely. Well, everybody asks, well, what could kids do? Oh my goodness. You can collect hangers that are empty so they can be refilled. You can actually stock the shelves with gently used items such as toys. You can fill the food pantry shelves. Over in the dining room, you can actually, even though you may not be 16 plus, which means you can serve hot food,
Sure.
you can absolutely be the best napkin passer outer. You can pass out the desserts. There's lots of things that children take pride in doing. Even over at our Lydia House in our library, we're always restocking the bookshelves because we want families to come in and take books back to their room and ultimately take them to their new homes. So we're always putting out our books. We have board game night, we have baby buddy night. What better thing for a child who's 7 to actually interact with another child who's 7 playing Candyland? And so those are things that are healthy, Andy, that we encourage families.
Yeah.
You're not a people person. We got behind the scene things
Right.
too, down and stand up jobs. I mean, you can make peanut butter sandwiches sitting down and
Yeah.
something for everyone.
Absolutely. Hey, let's go back to the books for a minute. What kind of books do you look for?
Well, because our we have such a wide, diverse age at our campus and also reading level, 60% of our adults are working at learning how to read. Their education is less than a grade 6 level and
Yeah.
2.3 reading level. So we actually have bookshelves in all of our community spaces as well as our library. And as quickly as books are being donated, they're coming off our shelf. We absolutely love all of those scholastic books, but at the same time, we love a good Western. Our men love Louis L'Amour. If those paperbacks, those
Yeah.
and there's something for everyone. So I always say there's spring cleaning, but there's summer cleaning too when you're going through your home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have to tell you, I have probably 12 boxes of books in the basement, which is why I'm asking. So, I'll kind of be on the lookout for some books, but yeah, yeah, summer cleaning, just things that, absolutely. So clothing, you're constantly, I mean, people can, drop off clothing and you're looking for new to gently used.
Absolutely. If it's something that you would still wear, then absolutely we
Yeah.
take that. If it's something that's got a button missing, broken zipper, maybe a rip or tear, just put that in a Walmart bag, Target bag, and write bail on it, BALE, because we bail those and we actually sell those for rags, Andy, and that
Okay.
right into our bottom line where we can buy things that we don't get donated, which are the meat and the fresh fruit and vegetables. And so we are into recycling and
Yes.
we recycle everything from paper to plastic to aluminum and to textile. And so a lot of our donors know that. And they bring us things because they know that we turn that into cash, being a good steward, and we're able to use that on some of those bottom line items that we're purchasing.
Yeah. And where do you have a couple locations where you drop off stuff or?
We absolutely do. On our main campus next to the airport
Mhm.
is one of our main drop-off
Right.
locations. It's so funny because people tell you their whole story. Oh, I fly out of here every month and I just keep these things in my garage till I am. But we also have our Elkhorn location off
Okay.
31. And we actually just bought some new land new to us, 2 blocks from that location. So we'll be able to expand as we have grown out of that location. And then we also have a location in Council Bluffs where you can drop off on Tuesday. We're actually serving close to 500 families at that location just in the Southwest Iowa area.
Wow. And tell me the address of Elkhorn again.
Just right off of Highway 31 when
Okay.
you're off Dodge. And, the easiest way that I tell people is Scooters is on the left
Yep. Yeah.
and you turn right, you turn left to go to
Yeah.
Scooter, but you turn right to go to the open door missions drop off.
Yeah. Why don't we talk about, you've got a couple other things to talk about, but just tell us briefly like the history of the Open Door mission.
Mhm. It's pretty exciting. We're going to be celebrating 70 years next year.
Wow.
70 years of loving our neighbor, providing safe shelter, nutritious meals, quality care. And it's interesting as I think back to Garland Thompson and Jerry Dunn and Bob Timberlake, and I'm thinking, goodness, these men would be blown away by what God has done at the Open Door Mission through the generous compassion of our
Yeah.
community, because
Yeah.
we can't do what we do without the community. And being able to offer 40 programs for free, being able to see lives transformed, but also seeing the cycle broken. That's where, true transformation happens.
And you've been there how long? I mean, you've been there for a while.
I've been there 28 years.
Oh
I
my
started
God, goodness.
at 9.
You started when you were 9. Wow.
What it feels like. But I do have, everybody says, Candace, what's next? Well, we're getting ready to turn ground on a new hospitality center in the middle of our campus. This will expand our opportunities to meet the true issue of homeless insecurity issues, of food in our community. So we're really excited about that. And right behind that, we have 2 tax credit programs with more per permanent supportive housing. But Andy, when those projects are done, we have no more land. So
Yeah.
maybe that's a good time that for the next leadership to take over. But you never know. Only God knows. But
Yeah.
right, he's given me a vision, and our board are pretty excited about the direction that we're going.
Yeah. Wow. So let's talk about, you recently kicked off a new monthly podcast cast called Coffee and Candace. Tell us about that.
Well, it's super exciting. During COVID, we did Coffee with Candace. People would send me their mugs, their favorite mugs. And so I've got all of these mugs. That's pretty fun, because I'm a foo-foo coffee drinker, not a black coffee drinker. But, we did that during COVID to keep people up to date. And then as COVID finished, we said, well, there's no need. Well, goodness, did we ever get a backlash? People
Okay.
were, what do you mean there's no need? We love hearing all the updates. So we actually retract and said, okay, we can't do it every week, but we could do it once a month. And we are going to move to more of a podcast format.
Mhm.
So we just actually recorded our first Coffee with Candace, and it hit Spotify, I believe, this month, before the end of the month. And it was so fun, Andy. It was a lot of fun just talking about what God is doing at the Open Door Mission,
Yeah.
and also highlighting a story of hope. We actually had some of our children share about their excitement of camp this year, learning how to swim, making a s'more, all of these different things. And I couldn't believe it. In 20 minutes, it was gone just like that.
Right. Yep. Yeah. It goes quickly. But I think that's great. To be able to talk about that each month, and the community wants to know. So,
We
uh,
listened and we changed.
yeah.
And so, backed by popular demand is Coffee with
Yeah.
Candace, just in a new format.
I love it. So people, again, opendoormission.org, so much information on your website. And again, it's just, I mean, it's great to talk to you and really kind of look at what, the need again is 365, 24/7. But yeah, during different times of the year require different things. So
Absolutely. And we know during the school year, people just don't have the time like they do when
yeah,
kids are in school and they're not doing those extracurricular activities. So it's a great time to start volunteering and making it part of your lifestyle.
yeah. All right, Candace, thank you so much. It's so good to see you as always.
Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. And folks, don't go away. We will be right back. Well, hello, my friends. I am here with Lacey Locklear. She is the Chief Development Officer for Completely Kids. Lacey, thank you so much for joining me today.
So good to see you again, Andy.
Well, Completely Kids, let's just talk about the organization itself. We've got a really fun event coming up in September, but Completely Kids, I mean, does so much and impacts so many kids and families in the community. So tell us a little bit about Completely Kids.
Yeah, so we are a local nonprofit, so Omaha focused, and we really provide services for our kids and families through five main buckets of service. Number one are our kids.
Yeah.
We provide after school programming, but it's summertime. We have them all day. We have them from about 7:30, 8 o'clock until 5 o'clock at night, allowing our parents to finish their workday. And they're doing really neat things. They're going on field trips. Some of them are out learning archery right now, things that you would not get to experience otherwise without our organization there. So some really great things for our kids going on. But parents are important too. We have adult education classes for them, different life skill classes, and then some of those vital services that we provide to our families, mental health and weekend food. And we can't forget about our teens. Our teens are someone that are in between school age and our adult programs. And it's really about building positive adult relationships and building our pipeline. These kids are turning into staff and giving back to the community and serving Completely Kids as well.
Yeah. And I think, when I talk to, regardless of the nonprofit, but speaking to Completely Kids, I mean, it's 24/7, 365 all the time. And, I think your needs change depending on what's happening. Like you say, it's summer. And so how can people, though, I mean, we're midsummer and we are then eventually looking into fall pretty soon here, and kids going back to school, but how can people in this moment support you?
I think one of our newest additions, you say responding to different needs. We have a first time new program, and what it is, it's called Camp Hero. And it addresses the needs of children in our programs that have maybe some different mental health issues, and some of them are on the spectrum with autism. And after school settings just sometimes are not set up for their success. They need a lot more individual attention. They need 1-to-1 ratios, 2-to-1 ratios. And in an after school setting, we cannot provide that. So we have established a program this summer that does exactly that. Our kids are in 2-to-1 ratios. They are still having those great experiences, field trips, but they're doing it in an environment that they are set up for success. So anyone who is passionate about giving services to kids, equal access across the board, whether they are dealing with some adjustment or disorders, or maybe are on that spectrum of autism and they are passionate and want to help us build this program and expand this program, we would love their support this summer.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. So let's talk a little bit about the event coming up. One of my favorites. It's so much fun. And it gets everybody together again, raising funds for Completely Kids. Pinot Pigs and Pours. It used to be called Puits, but now it's Pours. So,
It is.
And it's Thursday, September 14th.
It's coming up right around the
Yep.
corner.
Yep. So
Yeah.
talk about that. What is the event? And again, I mean, I know the event, but for some of those who don't, but this is so much fun.
It is. So Pinot Pigs and Pours serves as our main fundraising event. It is a fall event. As you mentioned, it used to be Pinot Pigs and Poets. And then we went through a rebranding. We rebranded right before COVID. Great time to do it. But rebranded to add a new feature. And what that feature is the pours. It is bourbon. We have a brand new audience that loves Pinot Noir wine, but also maybe wants something with a little bit more bite. So we are now featuring Pinot Noir wines and bourbons from distilleries in the area. And so this event, it's a tasting event, and that's what really makes this event different than some typical galas you might go to. You pay your ticket, you come in the door, and you could check your wallet there if you wanted to. That's it. There is no raise the paddle, no silent auction, no live auction. You come, you enjoy. We have 12 chefs that are going to
Yeah.
be presented during
I
this.
was actually going to ask about that next. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you have just different chefs from the area. And I think this is also what makes this event so unique because these are like top chefs. I mean, these are extraordinary chefs from different restaurants around our community. So
Yeah. So yeah, essentially, you get to try 12 restaurants or chefs in one night. So there are small bites that are, of course, featuring pork, but pork dishes from all over. We have, people from that are individual caterers. We have people who have meal services, and we have chefs from restaurants that you know and love. And as I mentioned, you go around the room, you taste, you see what you like, you pair it with some wine or some bourbon, and that's the event.
Yeah. And I think the thing too, because when I've been to some in the past, you actually have some of the chefs. I mean, the chefs are there, and you can, as they're serving you food, and you're talking to them about what they're serving you, and it's a really interactive event that makes it so much fun. Do people vote on any of this? I mean, remind, or
Yes.
does somebody win something or?
They do. So we have two competitions that happen during the event. There is one that's private. So it's called the Taste of Elegance. It's sponsored by Nebraska and Iowa pork producers. And what it is our chefs actually get to compete in front of trained chefs. They prepare
Oh,
dishes for them, they present it, and there's a winner. And there's actually a prize money of $1,500 for the winner for that portion. But then we want to give some input from our audience. Those are the ones that are there supporting Completely Kids and supporting that evening. So we have a People's Choice Award where that night, about towards the end, people get to vote for their favorite chef, and that chef then receives $500 as a reward. And so it's really, really great, really engaging. Like you mentioned, you get to speak one on one to the chef. I mean, how often do you get to do that at a restaurant? You can talk to them about techniques they use, maybe what ingredients they use, what other things they have featured at their restaurant. So really, really fun and engaging event.
yeah. And the thing, like you mentioned, they're bringing their best because there is a prize and there is
Yeah.
something, there's an ultimate winner of this. So they're bringing their best to the table at this event, which is so much fun. So Thursday, September 14th. And where is this event at?
So this event is at Champions Run.
Okay.
We have full run of the whole facility, which is great. We can really spread people out, give a little more breathing room to our guests, so we're not kind of all on top of each other, but really get to get there, have your time doing your tastings, talking to the different vintners and wineries, and just learning more about their wine they have to offer, and then of course from our chef.
Yeah. And again, this all really, I mean, this stems from Completely Kids, an incredible organization that impacts and does so much for so many in our community. And it really does give back to, to what's important. And, like you said, this event went through a rebranding a couple years ago, and now, Pino's Pigs and Pours. Anything else you want to say about the event itself?
Yeah, I think, I mean, the biggest thing is while this event supports Completely Kids as a whole and everything we do, there are a lot of programs that took a big hit over these last few years.
Yeah,
One of those
yeah.
specifically is our weekend food program. This is a program where we feed 860 kids every single weekend. For our kids, they have a snack with us on Friday around 4 o'clock, and some of them may not have a guaranteed meal until Monday morning again at school. So, the purpose of that program is to fill those 62 hours with food that they know is guaranteed. And pre-COVID, the program used to cost about $6,000 to $7,000 a week. It now costs us 10. So there
Wow.
are $40,000 that are happy. We're paying every single month to be able to provide this program for kids, but it's a vital. It's vital to their health. It's vital to their education. And without fundraising events and support from people who attend events like Pigs and Pours, we would not be able to continue that service.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Lucy. I mean, thank you for talking about that. And again, Completely Kids, you can go to completelykids.org to find out more about this event and all the different programs. But it's so great to talk to you throughout the year and just to learn about how can we help? And again, this amazing event. So,
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for the time, Andy. We hope to see everyone at our event on September 14th.
all right. Thank you, Lacey.